And his arteries looks like the Santa Monica Freeway at rush hour.
Osmosis Jones, aka the film I've talked about like 3 times already, aka sells at work, but if it came out 23 years ago, had Bill Murray, had Chris Rock, had Lawrence Fishburne, and was more about the comedy of the human body, went through a strange development hell story, played a lot of hip-hop and rap, including songs that didn't age well, and most importantly, had Brandy Norwood in it.
Jones, what is this virus that you're talking about?
The virus that torched the throat.
This film has been considered one of the biggest box office bombs, having a budget of $7 to $75 million and making a total of $14 million. And the only thing that came from this movie was a TV show spin-off that was not great, and a GBA game which was also not great. Point is, nothing good came from this film. And what if I told you that, believe it or not, there happens to be merchandise of this film? Yes, merchandise. And today, I'll be talking about the rare and even cancelled merchandise of Osmosis Jones. Alright, so first, let's talk about the cancelled ones. So originally, Trendmasters, a toy company, made a deal with Warner Bros. For the movie that in case the movie made a total of $65 million, they would make an action figure line based off of the movie. But since it was a flop, the line was cancelled. And now let's talk about what they plan to make. The first one being an action figure of Osmosis Jones, which would have been posable and apparently had a water-shooting membrane blaster, which I'm curious about how it would work. Anyways, it would come along with 3 little meltable germs. Thankfully, stereotypical Spanish-speaking germ fugitive isn't part of it.
Slow down. Talk English, man. We ain't on Telemundo here.
The second one would have been a figure of Thrax with swappable heads that would have light up, and also he would have had his little tiny coat majig. And then Drix, who similar to Ozzy would have had a feature that allowed him to shoot water from his arm cannon thingy, and also a chest compartment that would have been open. And is it me, or does it look strange since it doesn't really resemble the one from the movie? And also, why is there round cold tablets inside of him? Also, there would have been a vehicle accessory of Ozzy's car, just like the one in the film. And at the same time, it would have been able to make sounds, it would have had lights, and it would have had a little tiny missile that would appear on their car. And most importantly, Ozzy and Thrax would fit, but Drix cannot, sadly. There also were the deluxe figures, which were much more bigger and had sounds and buttons, and lights. And also, the Drix one would have had a compartment similar to the small one, but this time there was going to be projectiles that would have been launched out of his arm and placed inside of him. There was also these capsules toys that they described as cold capsules. I would imagine that the packaging would be shaped as cold tablets, similar to Drix, and once they were dropped in water, a minifigure would be revealed, and they had ones for the following characters: Drix, Fleming, Bruiser, Ozzy, the Chief, who I wish had more screen time, Joe Crab, and Leah, and also Thrax. It's the Super Snot capsule, which I'm assuming from the description of it, it would have been a thing that would have carried slime and an Ozzy-shaped object that could be used to fling the goo. And why is he purple? Is this when Ozzy was turning into a girl? Oh god, not that episode. That also would have been transparent and filled with goo and glitter, as it seems like they also would have been light-up heads of Thrax, Ozzy, and Drix. And after seeing these photos, I'm considered that these are cursed images. Inflatable figures of Ozzy, Drix, and Thrax. I'm assuming this would have been given up at fairs or carnivals, since that's what most of the logic is for those, but correct me if I'm wrong. And finally, these 2 mini statues of Ozzy and Leah. Anyways, these never happened because of what we said earlier, and prototypes do exist, but most, if not all of them, are in the hands of collectors. And there's a few on eBay on sale, but they cost a lot of money. Now, let's get into clothing. For some of this do exist, and for others, it's kinda unknown. First, these images of bodysuits for babies, and it has an Ozzy and Drix design, as well as an Iron Giant one. Speaking of that, part of me is thinking about making a video or an analysis about that film, but you and I both know that a few people wouldn't like it if I talked about the Metal Boy. Secondly, a jacket with a logo on the back and an FPD badge in front. It was supposed to mimic the jacket that Ozzy wears, and it looks pretty cool, and this was meant for the production crew of the movie. Yeah, this is where half of the shirts that can be found on eBay and certain sites or from the people who are part of like the production crew and stuff like that. There's these other shirts with the movie's logo as well, and on the back it says spring 2001. It's interesting since to remind you the film didn't come out until summer, or in this case August of 2001, and it was because they were reworking the film due to the PG-13 rating that they were given while they were making the movie, and they had to tone it down to a PG rating. Anyways, these shirts do go for a decent amount on eBay, and they can be found here and there. There's also these 2 other shirts for the production teams. one with the slogan and the other one with the Donkey Clam Shack logo. That's that one place that Frank and Shane go to in the film. And now for objects. Half of these were either given to press or crew members, or just ones that are just unknown. Like this lunchbox, for example. Why is that when I take a break from Earthworm Jim stuff, Jim somehow finds his way to haunt me? These bags with the old logo, magnets, this cool looking clock that was given to the animation crew, a metal Ozzy statue that was given to the production management team, these items that were given to the press and retailers from the looks of it, anti-thrax gel, which I'm now assuming that thrax is supposed to be anti-thrax due to the name, and just saying, but do not name your product that you're giving to press after a real life virus, because that will probably scare them. While we're talking about that, there's an item called the Gas Blaster, and a tagline on it that says, "Infecting Theaters Summer 2001. I swear, this film's taglines were not so great, like the one that says "Catch the Cold" or "Catch the Fever." It just makes it sound worse, and at this point, I'd rather choose to get spoiled than catch a cold. And also, there's this pose that Drix is doing that never is really seen in any of the promo art that I was able to find. And finally, antibacterial gel, which I'm assuming is just regular gel. And that's basically all there is to this. It's strange how this film really has rare and obscure merchandise, both cancelled and rare stuff. You know what? I think I should take a nice break from this video. You know what? I think I should just read a manga. Yeah, I'm probably gonna read Cells at Work and what the fuck?